Welcome. Today we will explore data tables and lists. Because many of the students find the concepts to be a bit difficult, I would highly suggest that you also review your book as needed. Let's start today with either a new workbook or inserting a worksheet into this workbook. And I will name it Basics. We will retrieve a data table from an Access database. This is similar to what we did before. Let's go here and Data, get external data from Access, and then find where you have that on your machine. Mine is under Downloads, Sales Data, MDB, and we'll click on the Sales table. Now we're opening this into a table, and an A1 would be appropriate. One nice thing about a data table is that it has a name and that all of the different columns have names as well. If you're clicked anywhere in the data table, you'll see these table tools. Design, and over here on the left, you'll see a name. It automatically gave this table the name Table Sales Data. Now I can change that if I want. Come up here and type in whatever name I want. I'll call it My Sales Data and hit enter. Next, you will notice here we can resize the table as many columns or rows as we would desire. We can also put it into a pivot table, and here we have remove duplicates. Before we do that, let me take just one moment to do something else. I'm going to come over here into the total rows and click on that. You'll notice that it added a row to the bottom of our table. In this case, let's change this to be a count. It shows that I have 210 records in this table. Also, I can get the sum. Sales have been $10,402. Of course, I can do other things here, such as band columns, first or last, or other types of things as well. The filters over the columns are very useful. I can filter out everything except maybe Provo, and you'll notice that there's only $5,151 in sales here in Provo. Or I can say maybe just basketballs. And it looks like we only have 5 basketballs sold in Provo. To clear, we can either hit on the individual item and say to clear it, or we can come up to Data and go clear up here. Now all of the records are showing, nothing is filtered. Next, let's remove the duplicates. As you noted, there is 210 records. We'll click on Remove Duplicates, and here, if everything is checked, then that means everything has to be exactly the same to be considered a duplicate. We'll say OK. It says for duplicate values found and removed. We still have 206 unique records. Well, it says it removed 4 records, but we don't know which ones. So let's restore those. Later on, we'll teach you techniques in figuring out which records are duplicates and were removed. I can also convert these to a range. Before we do that, let me just look at the different colors. Notice as I scroll around here, a wide variety of different formatting that can be used. If I'm going to convert this to a range, normally I would click on this None to use for this. I would like you to do that. For myself, I'm going to go ahead and use a formatting so you can see what happens if I don't get rid of any formatting. Let's click on Convert to Range. Notice this is going to permanently remove the query definition, so we won't be able to update it if we're going to a list. That's fine. We say go to the list. Now, the table tools up here are no longer available. This is actually just a list of data that has been formatted. Furthermore, you'll note that if I sort it, then the banding is not consistent across everything. That is why I would convert it with no color to begin with. The cells keep the underlying colors even though it's sorted in different ways. Now, even if we make this into a table again, those rows are going to be permanently colored that way, and if I come up here, you'll notice I can't make any changes. Next, let's look at the slicers. These are nice because it makes it easy to filter and work with things we'd like. I will choose Item, Location, and Sales Rep. And let's put these up over here on my left. Now, I can say I just want to see Provo items. You'll notice that those employees who don't work in Provo have been grayed out over here. Or I can say I want all items in Orem, and I hold the Control key down, San Jose. Now both of those will be selected. When I come to the bottom, note that we don't have that total row, so I'm going to back up here and hit Total Row and get my totals so that I can look at those as well. I will clear my totals. And up here I could maybe look at bicycles. How many bicycles were sold? 78. They cost $5,830. And I can say which ones were sold by Jenny. Jenny sold 3 bicycles and total of $375. I can clear the filters right here on the slicers or above with the data, as you can see up here. Next, let me show you a potential problem you need to be aware of. If I copy some of this data, I'm going to paste it over here on the right hand side. Now, when I come back and filter this, say for Dave, you'll notice that a lot of this data has disappeared. Batteries. It not only is getting rid of the data that I can see, but it's hiding everything on the same row. So the filtering is filtering everything, and it's only showing those things that are unfiltered on that row. So you have to be very careful about putting any data on the right side of a table. It filters the whole row, not just the table. It's still there though, so that when I click up here and clear, then all my data is still available that was on the right hand side.